Alexa, please stop. What is up? I got something very interesting to show you guys. Boom. We can take the $1,000 payout. The journey is technically done because we've been doing that series on TikTok, 50 to 1K payout. We finally made it. $1,000 that we can take out right now, that I actually have an account balance of $2,200. But if I were to take out this amount of money right here, it would leave me only with $1,107. That means I'd 3 losses and I'd be done. I shouldn't take 3 losses in a row, but just to be safe, I want to make probably another $1,000 before I take out an $1,000 payout. The key is patience, and doing it the right way is going to get you exactly what you want and what you need. Doing it the wrong way based off emotions, like, oh, I want the money right now, I'm going to just take it and I'll have to trade good for the next 2 weeks. What if you blow the account? Huh? You have $1,000 now, but you blow the account. You have to do all that work to make a whole new account. You're going to crash out. If you blow the next account trying to pass it again, you're just going to spiral down. So we're going to do it the right way so we don't have to go through mental warfare, because if you guys are OGs and you guys been watching my TikTok since like a few months ago, I got bad psych, bro. So I got to do as much as I can to keep my head in a good spot. And that means just doing the right things, creating good habits, staying disciplined. And if you guys are like me, you guys need to do that, because if you don't, it's going to be bad. I'm telling you right now, because it was me. Okay, so let's get right into it. Alright, so we're at all-time highs. I'm not even going to show the 1 hour and the 4 hour. We were coming down into this 15-minute gap right here. First thing I did when I got on was mark out all-time highs and then measure this range. This is the more discounted PD array, so we're looking to tap into that. And we also have this order block here, so we want to see this be like the final, for our bullish narrative, this is the final like savior. If we push through this down into here, I would just start targeting this as a draw for shorts, honestly. Because if we're going to push all the way through the equilibrium down, we're most likely going to be bearish until we get to a stronger draw on liquidity, like this 1 hour gap in the intermediate term low, or this order block type deal. Anyways, getting off track. So we have this weird fair value gap sandwich where we are being supported by these small 5-minute fair value gaps and that 15-minute in the discount, but we also can't get through this 5-minute gap right here. Now, this is a terrible scenario. You never want to be trading like this, but I did today, and I don't think you guys ever should, especially if you're watching this trying to learn. But I've been trading for almost a year now, so when stuff like this happens, I kind of have good market intuition most of the time, as long as I'm thinking clear. So as I see, we kind of start to tighten up into this little wedge right here, and we have this 30-second inverse that happened right here that I faded. As you can see, we have a 30-second inversion that happens right here, and there's even some SMT down here. This was a good setup. You could have taken it, but I faded it. It was just too close to market open. It was only like 3 minutes in. And then after doing that, to me, I thought of this high right here as engineered liquidity to take out all-time highs. So we started making this downward spiraling range that created low resistance liquidity that wanted to be broken through. And I waited for a very valid entry. And since this happened on such a small time frame, like on the 1 minute, it literally looks like piano keys. Price is fractal, so I went down to the 30-second, and I found the inversion that happened. We perfectly tap into it right here. I was going to put a limit order there, but I didn't. You would have completely bottom ticked it. And I waited for just a little bit more confirmation. So what did I do? I waited for this 15-second inversion with volume, pushed up with these two beautiful green candles, and then as you can see, we shot all the way up to the top of this low resistance liquidity run. So if you guys don't know what that is, low resistance liquidity is something like this. A whole bunch of stacked highs that are going down like that in line, so you can draw a line and it should follow like a trend. On a higher time frame, this is almost low resistance liquidity. This high, this high, this high, this high. And what happens is it's just a whole bunch of confusion in the marketplace. That's how you can think of it. And when stuff like that happens, when there's a whole bunch of little orders being placed and little transactions being made all in one area, price is either going to wash them out on the downside or wash them out on the upside. And how you can realize what side is going to be taken is the side that has a very flush pattern that you can create a line. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be obvious. And what this means is usually you want to see higher highs being made, but in this scenario we are being supported by the 30-second inverse and this 1 minute gap. And what we have up here, there's obviously some orders up here. That's where we engineered liquidity. So as bullish buying pressure shortens right here, it's a sign that the bulls are kind of letting the bears win to a certain point until they break out, and the bears aren't going to be able to keep them down. They're going to get to the top of the run at least. So this was the low-hanging fruit. I could have targeted all-time highs, but I wanted to just be safe and target right here. Obviously, I had crazy risk to reward. It was a 3.19. Some of you might not think that's that crazy, but for me, that's pretty crazy. So I was break even very early, not risking that much, and I made about $530 on this trade. Yeah, I was literally break even in like 1 minute. And yeah. So I would not recommend trading for the rest of the day, maybe even the rest of the week. Price action is just so choppy. It was choppy yesterday. But yeah, you guys stay safe and don't be over trading. Don't crash out because of the government lockdown. Price action is really bad right now, and just keep that in mind. I might not even trade for the rest of the week because I'm already up $1,000 on the week. I should probably just take my profits and just chill. Alright, without further ado, peace.